Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, Growth Grind. My name's Matt, and I'm going to show you the struggles of a retail trader trying to get funded and grow his account. I'll show you a ton of losses, some wins, all in the efforts of trying to become a better trader, hopefully eventually get funded, and encourage anyone out there struggling as well. Quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor or investment professional. I do not recommend you invest based off of what I say in my videos. These are strictly for entertainment and educational purposes. So with that being said, let's dive into it. So first thing that I like to look at is the fundamentals, any catalyst that could cause the markets to move up or down and have an inflow of capital coming in. One thing I like to do is look at the earnings. I do all my videos after hours because I just don't have any time during the day to do a live recording. So this is going to be for yesterday, which is, well, on Friday, which was the 20th of June. So let's go back to, Friday. Let's see. Anything on Friday? Nothing really. I usually look at things that are, or companies with a market cap of $500 billion or more, or household names. Accenture, it's a big company, not really a household name though. So I would say really there isn't much moving the markets in terms of earnings. Look at any reports. Was there any reports on Friday that could move the markets? Not really. Nothing much going on here, at least for the US. Was there anything going on in the pre-market? Pre-market was actually fairly bullish at the time. All here. So 3 out of 5 in Europe. Asia Pacific was pretty bearish, but as we move from the Asian Open all the way into Europe, all the way into New York, looks like cash flows are actually moving towards a positive direction. And then was there any news that was coming out at the time on Friday? This is fairly new. So this wouldn't have been there yesterday. I would imagine the markets are going to open up much lower on Monday, but we will see. Also, Thursday was Juneteenth, federal holiday, so not much going on. So overall, Thursday was a holiday, so not much was going on there. There was no reports on Thursday, no reports on Friday, and it's a Friday. Fridays are typically slower. So really, I don't have any catalyst, nothing to really make me think that markets are going to move very wide today. So I'm going to temper my expectations. So am I going to be bullish? Am I bearish? It's not really quite clear. Maybe leaning more towards bullish because of the earnings of Accenture at $176 billion in market cap. Maybe bullish because the pre-market went from bearish from Asian market all the way to bullish. 3 out of 5 at least of the indices were bullish from Europe, and then coming into the New York Open, I would say mostly bullish, but I would rely more heavily on the technicals. First thing I would do is look at the equities. I didn't really see much on the equities, at least for me. Really what I did was took a short on gold and short on the Japanese yen, which we'll look at. So on gold, overall daily trend, at least more recently, so since May, has been bullish. We've come into this weekly level of supply. So this zone right here, price was here, pushed all the way down, retested, made a big drop. Price came back in, and now we retested it, and I would expect some push back downwards. Will we break through? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna trade what I see. So overall, daily is bullish, but we are coming into weekly supply. On the 4-hour time frame, what's the momentum? Well, on Sunday last week, then you got Monday, bearish. Sunday came up into our weekly supply zone, pushed down, did a whole lot of nothing for about 2 days, broke and closed below, and now we have a bit of time until we hit this demand zone, which I've highlighted out. So overall, bearish for the day. Where were we? We were here. So here's Friday morning. Price is still clearly in a downtrend, doing a whole lot of nothing. Huge spike up. So, huge spike up where in the middle of nowhere, really. I wouldn't have said that this is a good place to go long. There's really nothing here. I guess you could argue that there is this zone right here, but even so, I don't know. I really wouldn't have expected price to come back here and then react off of it. So what I did was I made a short play back here into supply. This is also an area where price really couldn't close below until here. Price came back up, retested this area, came back down, retested, came back down. So I figured this might be a good area to go short again. So on a 5-minute time frame, I have this double top right here, and then a break and close below this solid green bar, and then a retest. So my zone was really going to be, let's see, I believe it was something like this. And in 1 minute, so there's my zone. Price broke and closed below, came back up, got me in, and then did a whole lot of nothing. So at this point, I'm in the trade, and I had to go to a wedding, so I wasn't watching this. I had a 2-to-1, as all of my trades are. I had a 2-to-1 ratio. I just left it on there for the rest of the day. So what happened? Whole lot of nothing. Price went down, 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 came back up, down, down, down again, came back up. Really didn't do anything. So at about this point, 3:45 is we're going to close soon. The markets are going to close soon, and I really don't want to have an open position throughout the weekend. I have no idea what could happen on Sunday, so I just close it out. I made $2 in profit, which is better than losing, but really this trade, I would just call this a wash. There's nothing that happened. What really makes me sad is going to be the Japanese yen. So on the daily time frame, we could tell since here, so June bearish, came back up, broke through this low, now we're bearish. So on the daily we're bearish, and we have time until we hit demand. On the 4-hour, where's the momentum, it is also bearish. Here's the demand zone, and here is this solid green bar, which price broke close below. So I was looking for any shorts pretty much up into this area. Go to an hourly time frame, there's this huge green bar, and then price broke and closed below, and then start coming down lower, broke and closed below this one too. So where I'm looking to get short is either here or somewhere here. So at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, about here's where I was. So price came back up. I was a little too late. I placed this trade here, so if price came back up, I would have gotten in. Price did a whole lot of nothing, did a whole lot of nothing, did a whole lot of nothing, and then broke close below this. So once price broke this zone, I made a new trade on this one. So saw green bar, price broke and closed below, and now I was waiting. And really, at about 12 o'clock or so, I saw this double bottom right here, and I figured, well, I'll just close out the trade because again, I had to go to a wedding, so I'm not going to be able to watch this thing. It really wouldn't have mattered if I was able to watch it or not, because I'm not going to move my stop, and I'm not going to move my entry because the trade was already mapped out, and I should have trusted my trading plan. But I canceled out the trade, and the reason why I'm so sad about it is because price would have gotten me in right at the tick, and then made me a ton of money. So the lesson learned: trust the plan. Don't if a trade looked good, don't don't second guess yourself. If you're trading a system, trade the system, and then just learn from it. That's why we're doing this 100 trade challenge, is to just learn from mistakes and try to get better. What I could have done here: 1, trust my system, and 2, I already mapped out where demand would be down here. There's no reason for me to think that price is just gonna all of a sudden reverse against me, but I should have trusted it. And even if price came up to here, stopped me out here, got here, this is just a better zone. Like, honestly, this is just a better place to get long. This is more aggressive than this. And if this failed, well, it probably would have gone higher. And honestly, there's really nothing I could have done at that point. But the daily was bearish, the 4-hour momentum was bearish. We had breaks of hourly demand zones. This was a solid trade. I should have trusted it, but you know, you live, you learn. So those were trades, I believe, 9, 10, and 11. So if you like the video, just like it, comment, subscribe, share. Give me any feedback. If you have any trades that you want me to just take a look at, give my 2 cents. Again, I'm not a professional trader. I'm just trying to get funded as a retail trader. So, any comments or any feedback would be great. See you guys next time. Peace.